Good Omens, written by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, is a fantasy comedy novel about an angel and a demon acting as the Antichrist's godfather to prevent Armageddon. Little do they know, when the Antichrist was a baby, he was put into the wrong family. Now the angel and demon have to find the Antichrist before it's too late. The angel is Aziraphale, the angel of the eastern gates of Eden, while the demon is Crowley, the snake that tempted Eve. The two have been on Earth since almost the very beginning and have become friends. The two have also come to like humanity and all that comes with it. Aziraphale is a foodie and a book nerd, owning a bookstore with absurd hours so he doesn't have to sell the books. Crowley is a wine and car lover who owns a 1926 black Bentley that has no dents because of his magic. The most prevalent antagonists in the book are the demons: Hester, Liger, Beelzebub, and, of course, Satan. Although the angels do have a part in causing the conflict, the demons have more of a hand in the conflict, as in delivering the Antichrist to Earth and starting Armageddon. This is a character versus supernatural kind of conflict. Now, I'm gonna try to convince you to read Good Omens. Ready? So, there are so many different weird things that happen in this book. The first thing you would notice would be the author's notes, right? It comes at the very beginning of the book, and most people don't really read that, but if you do read it, they mention that this is the second publication of this book, and that all the books that they've signed before have been damaged somehow, or presented to them in a weird way when they sign it. There's this one instance in the letter where they describe the book in a black box covered in runes. What? So not only does the publication of this book have a weird backstory, the air of how it's presented to the audience is also really weird, because it is pronounced like it's the writings of this old prophet named Agnes Nutter, right? She's a character in the book, but also at the very beginning it credits her as a writer of the book, and that Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman just compiled and shortened some things, which is a weird thing, except for the fact that it kind of explains why it jumps all over the place, from going from Aziraphale in his bookstore to the Antichrist in his small town talking to his friends, to Agnes Nutter's ancestor who's trying to figure out how to use Agnes Nutter's predictions of the future. And then one of the weirdest, in my opinion, the horsemen of the apocalypse being people and doing jobs and stuff, which is really weird because they're the horsemen of the apocalypse, except for Death. Death doesn't have a normal job. His job is death. It also has a weird kind of mindset on immortality. In most books, the trope is the immortal person is tired of living, and they're so depressed, and it's so grimdark, but they make it so it's more of a, instead of them, growing weary of living because they're immortal, they more just fall in love with humanity and how creative it is, and how it doesn't really need the influence of angels and demons. And so the two could just live whatever life they want. And since they're two immortal beings, of course they're going to become friends, and their friendship is so deep and methodic, even though it's played up for laughs too. It has serious moments, but it's mostly comedy. It's funny, and the kind of air it has just makes you want to read more. It's long-winded and makes a lot of jokes that don't make sense, and there's like little footnotes at the bottom of pages for no reason other than to explain stuff to people who don't know what things are. Like, I didn't know what a pound was until it explained it to me when it made a joke about pounds. I don't know. There's also a whole footnote describing the life of of one of the children that got switched out when the Antichrist got switched into the wrong family. So weird and so wonderful. Now I will leave you with a snippet from almost the very beginning of the book. Current theories on the creation of the universe state that if it was created at all and didn't just, as it were, unofficially, it came into being between 10 and 20 million years ago. By the same token, the Earth itself is generally supposed to be about 4,500 million years old. These dates are incorrect. Medieval Jewish scholars put the date of the creation at 3760 BC. Greek Orthodox theologians put creation as far back as 5508 BC. These suggestions are also incorrect. Archbishop James Ussher published Annals Versus et Novi Testamente in 1654, which suggested that the heaven and the earth was created in 4004 BC. One of his asides took the calculation further and was able to announce triumphantly that the earth was created on Saturday, the 21st of October, 4400 BC at exactly 9 a.m. because God liked to get work done early in the morning while he was feeling fresh. This too was incorrect, by almost a quarter of an hour. The whole business with the fossilized dinosaur skeletons was a joke the paleontologists haven't seen yet. This proves two things. Firstly, God moves in extremely mysterious, not to say sectarious ways. God does not play dice with the universe. He plays an ineffable game of his own devising, which might be compared from the perspective of any of the other players, i.e., everyone, to being involved in an obscure and complex version of poker in a pitch-dark room, with blank cards for infinite stakes, with the dealer who won't tell you the rules and who smiles all the time. Secondly, the Earth is a Libra.